Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do a weekly reading for you. How are you, my friends? How are you, my fire family? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Leo, we're looking at some oracles this week. We are going to take some energy from the oracles to get the overall feel of what's going on. I will throw some tarot on here so we can get some details for you. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to find the extended. I'm also going to tell you how to find a private read if you're interested in that. But Leo, I just want to say thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you coming back if that's what you're doing. And please know that my readings have been all over the place. So if you are somebody who's already subscribed, please hit the bell button so you'll know when I'm uploading for your sign. If you want to know when I'm uploading for your sign and you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. It's the only way you can hit the bell button. But I've had a lot of renos going on here. So I've just been trying to read all around those renos. All right. Let's find out what's going on for you, Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising. We are talking, Venus and Jupiter, sorry. We are talking about the fallout from your full moon, right? So the full moons always bring things to a full circle, or sometimes it's a release of things. I was just saying, like, I feel like with the Leo full moon, it was almost like, yeah, I set that on fire and then I danced in the ashes. That's what it feels like to me. But I'm going to say we're going to talk about the fallout of the full moon, whether that's good or bad, and find out what things you're changing or what is changing for you or what you finally let go of. Let's talk about that. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo. It's on the horizon for change. I know you don't like the C word, change. All right, my friend, prepare to get in the flow. I'm going to say that there is something that is about to be birthed or about to hatch, and it feels like it's good. It feels like it's a new cycle. Oh, look at that. Heal. I kind of love that. I'm just looking at the egg, right? I'm looking at this as a pentacle or a full moon. That's what it feels like. And it says prepare. So I think you're supposed to prepare for something new. Prepare for something to be born or birth, or you're going to see the final growth stage of something, because it feels like you have let something go. I think that you stopped watching this thing. Like, you know, if you watch an egg, it never hatches, right? I feel like you stopped watching the water boil is what it feels like. And what you did is instead you got into the flow. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to turn my back on this egg, this brand new thing that's about to arrive. I'm tired of watching it, waiting for it to hatch. And I feel like you've decided to just get in the flow, which means you're no longer fighting the current. You're sort of just like, yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen when it's going to happen. I think this is your illumination. It says illuminate. It feels like that you've come to this place where you've realized that you can't force things. That when you try and force things, that if they happen before they're ready to happen, then things break, right? Like if we can't open the egg to make sure that the chick is okay inside the egg, it'll kill them, right? So I feel like you're learning patience. You're having realizations that it's time for you to sit down and let the universe take care of part of this. That's what it feels like here. And I feel like that's part of your healing. So you may have gone through a really healing moon. We've got ego. Oh, somebody had an ego death. That's what it looks like. Somebody got out of their ego, which is, I'm in charge. I'm going to push it to get done. I'm going to push my way through this. Get out of my way, which is, I think that you have healed the ego. And now you're like in the flow. You've been illuminated here. You've had a realization. And it feels like you realize now that things happen when they happen. And when I try and force things, I'm not in the flow. And I can't force things to happen sooner than they will, because it could be detrimental, right? All right, let's find out. Let's put one more card on the table. Tell me more about Leo. The Fire Fam, tell me more about Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Can't force the flow, Leo. Things happen when they're ready. Chicks hatch when they're ready to hatch. What have we got here? We've got traveling lightly, simplify your life. I think you already have. I'm going to say you are healing things. I think this was a healing moon for you. And if you are the one who healed from a couple of things, it feels like one of those things is you decided to Maybe you were purging. Maybe this full moon for you meant that there was a purging of your ideas, purging of your personality and the parts of it that you didn't like. Maybe you're purging a closet. Maybe you were throwing out old things. Look, there's a garbage can here. Yep, it says this way. Yeah. So I feel like you're now on the right track, I want to say. But it also, with this garbage here, I feel like you're lightening your load here. It says simplify your life. So it could be that you're lightening the mental load, you're lightening the emotional load, but mostly I think that you're in the flow and you're no longer forcing things to happen. We have impasse. Oh, I like that. So reflect and redirect your energy is exactly what you did. Yeah, that's what the healing is all about. You decided to no longer force your way through the wall, because that's a stone wall, right? It feels like this path leads directly to the wall. I think that you decided that you're no longer going to be standing and screaming at the wall to move, that you're just going to wait for, maybe you're going to walk the path a little further to see where the path goes. Maybe the path leads around. All right. I pulled up my surrender deck because we are talking about full moon energy, right? The surrender deck is maybe something that you can let go of that you don't need. It's a little bit of advice and you don't have to take it. Maybe it has nothing to do with you. You don't have to take it ever, right? Let's find out what's going on with the surrender deck and tell me about Leo. What is Leo likely to surrender? Tell me about Leo. We've got surrender to fear. Interesting. Surrender fear. It says, let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. So the thing is, you're surrendering fear. And I don't think it's saying that you're fearful, because I never met a Leo that wasn't so freaking brave. Like so brave. And so it says, let go of the fearful stories you're telling yourself. And I think that falls in line with what I was saying about stop forcing the flow, right? Stop forcing the flow and just stay in the moment. And when you aren't so focused on forcing something, then you can just naturally let it happen the way that it will. We have the bottom of the deck. Put this over here. We have the bottom of the deck where it says surrender defensiveness. And so it says defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. And I think defensiveness comes into play when you don't get what you want when you want it. It's impatience, right? It's hard, like you're Leo. And no matter where it comes up in your chart, it's a take charge, I'm going to get the hell out of my way kind of energy. And I think that this full moon is helping you release, heal, reflect and redirect your energy, getting you into the flow with a realization that maybe you just have to let some shit go. Just let it be as it is. All right. Let's talk about tarot. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me more about Leo. Tell me about Leo. Tell me about Leo. Oh, I think you're supposed to be prepared for something really lovely that's going to happen here. We've got the Three of Cups. I love that. In the flow here, we've got the Eight of Swords. We've got the Seven of Cups here with Illuminate. You're making some sort of choice. This illumination is helping you make some sort of decision and simplifying your life. You are finding creative ways to let go of the things you don't need. Maybe instead of throwing it in the bin, maybe you're going to give it to somebody who really needs it. So maybe as you clean out your pantry and you know that food is not spoiled, maybe it goes to, your local food bank instead of throwing it away. It feels like you're simplifying your life, but finding creative ways to do that. Lifting, letting free, things that were weighing you down, whatever it is that you don't need, I think you're finding creative ways to do that. So I love this prepare that the Three of Cups is here because Leo, there is something beautiful coming for you. It's celebratory. It's fun. It's exciting. It feels like it's a reason to celebrate. It feels like whatever is in this egg, it could be money. That looks like it could be a pentacle for some of you. But if it is a pentacle, it's time, effort, energy, health, right? Things that are in the 3D. It feels like you're going to be celebrating something that is going to be born. Look, maybe you've got a baby on the way, or maybe you're pregnant, or maybe you know of somebody who's pregnant, or somebody might tell you they're pregnant. It feels like to prepare for something brand new to be born here, or to be hatched, right? Something that is going to be revealed here. Ooh, I love it. Look at that. Oh, that's really great energy. So we have the Sun, we have the Ace of Cups, and the Magician. Look, the right environment is currently being created. I think you're manifesting something really big that you don't understand, that you're manifesting. And the only way that you can do that is by being in the flow. So when you're pushing at things, when you're running at things, when you're running in fire constantly, you don't give your brain a chance to cool down or cool off or make thoughts or have this illumination or the realization of things. So I feel like the Sun is showing up, and whatever it is happy. It's a breakthrough. It's something that you've been waiting to see or you've been waiting on. The Ace of Cups tells me it's the Sun is shining on the open heart or on something you really love, something that's going to make your heart space open. It could be the opening of the heart chakra. I think you've been hoping for this. It feels like someone's heart is softening, if I'm being honest. Somebody who's going to now be thinking with their heart and not just with fire. And that could be in just about anything. It could be that maybe you've been doing a lot of situationships and maybe it's like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I'd rather get my heart involved now. So the Sun tells me that the Sun is shining on the Three of Cups. It's also shining on the Ace of Cups. The Three of Cups is, I feel that, you're about to have a breakthrough in something that's really exciting, celebratory, fun. Could be a breakthrough with a friendship group, possibly a soul tribe, but it feels like it's heart space related. But I think that you're the one who has created the environment to for all of this to happen through manifestation. That's what it feels like here. The thing is you've always had the resources and the tools to feel your emotions, the Ace of Cups, to start something new. I feel like you're just finally allowing it now because you're in the flow. I think for the longest time you were in the Eight of Swords, feeling like your hands were tied. I don't want to share my emotions. You were in your head about what happens if I get in the flow that could make me vulnerable. Maybe some of you can't swim. You know what I mean? Like it feels very vulnerable to be connected to my emotions. You can see the string there is connected from the chair to the moon. It feels like somebody is connecting now to their feelings instead of being in the swords energy. And it feels like it could be a little bit terrifying, actually, for somebody who hasn't really felt their feelings in a while. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking to somebody who was probably very detached from their emotions. And that could be because of something that happened in terms of the Three of Swords in the past. That maybe you equate love with pain. We've got the rose here, which is love, and then we've got a sword right through it. Maybe you equate love with pain or sadness or heartbreak. I feel like you decide to detach from the Eight of Swords, that you want to get out of your head and you're trying to get into your feelings. But I want to say that you're just not settling. So the Eight of Cups is walking away because the Eight isn't enough. I want the other two. I'm going out there to find the Two of Cups. So somebody here, the Two of Cups could be a deep bond to somebody, a deep friendship. I want a bestie. It could be that I want to get into a group of people, Three of Cups, who are loving and kind and fun and like to go out on the weekends. It could be that. But I feel like it's in a very stable and sturdy way. I also feel like you have really worked hard on yourself, I want to say. That you finally maybe are looking at yourself as someone of worth. And I'm not saying that you didn't before, but I'm saying that maybe you're more stable than you used to be. It feels like you are... that you're more in the flow of finances, health, wealth, time, effort, energy. Maybe you have more resources to be all of those things now, and maybe you didn't before. Illuminate tells me that you're seeing through some sort of illusion or overwhelm. It feels like for you, emotions are overwhelming, but it feels like you're realizing that now. The only way that we can ever fix anything is by acknowledging it, realizing it, and then coming up with a plan to fix it. And so I feel like this illuminate is a realization that, you know what, I get really overwhelmed with my feelings. And then I'm unable to make really good decisions when it comes to my feelings. Somebody here is being illuminated about the Seven of Cups, and that could be illusion. Maybe I'm finally seeing through the illusion. And for others, it could be the Seven of Cups is overwhelm, emotional overwhelm. How do I take care of that? Tell me more about this. We've got the Hanged Man. Slow down is what it's saying. Just slow down, friend. So I feel like the Hanged Man is telling me that you finally get a perspective about what's been going on. It almost feels like a tap, like it's on or off. Your emotions are on or off. It's almost like your fire and your water cannot cohabitate. But understand, fire and water together are temperance. It is healing. It is balance. It's moments of alchemy where you really decide that you make decisions, that you know that the universe is ready for you to make a move forward. It feels like when you're in harmony, right? You're like in temperance. It feels like this Hanged Man energy. I feel like this is you looking at the Seven of Cups like, I have to stop fighting my feelings. I have to stop fighting all of the overwhelming feelings that I feel, but I can't do it by being shut down, shut off, and holding back all the time. I think you're having a realization that you've been holding back your feelings, that you've been fighting, showing people emotions on the surface. And I'm not talking romantic. It could be, but I'm not necessarily talking about that. I'm talking about being softer on the surface, that maybe you're going to show people your softer side. And I'm hearing that, right? Charlie, my guide, I'm a clairaudient, and the song I'm being fed right now is Meredith Brooks' Bitch. She says, yesterday I cried. You must have been relieved to see the softer side. I think that you're going to be showing people your softer side, but I really think that this is a really hard process for you because the Five of Swords is here with the Hanged Man. You're really fighting yourself. It's almost like you're on or off. It feels like if I have to be in a group of people and show them my feelings, I don't want to be within the group of people. So it's like I either go there and fire and aloof and I don't really care what's going on and just go through it, just barrel through it and fire. It feels like you are coming to a place or a realization that you can't always be in the pause when you're in your emotions. I think you hide when you're feeling overwhelmed by your emotions or you can't understand your emotions. It feels like the Five of Swords tells me you get stuck in your head and that's why you hold back. I think this illumination is bringing you to a place where you're realizing that you've actually been in a detriment by not feeling your feelings. We've got simplify your life. I feel like you're going to find creative ways to travel lighter. Yeah, I feel like this is all a healing process. I feel like this is a really significant full moon for you that just came and left here at the beginning of February here. I think it's preparing you for what's about to show up in the rest of February because we do have an eclipse coming. So I feel like the universe is asking you to lighten your load, heal yourself, stop being defensive, get out of your fear energy, and stop yelling at things that won't move. Stop pushing the flow and allow yourself to get in the flow. Tell me about the Ace of Wands and simplify your life. Tell me about creative ways that you're dropping things you no longer need. Page of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. So the Page of Swords is telling me now I'm going to observe. I'm going to observe from a distance, figure out what's good for me, what's not good for me. Because the Page of Cups is a realization, a shock, a surprise, but it's always good news, right? It's like a good news messenger. I'm going to say that the good news for you is that you've realized that there are things that you can let go of. The Nine of Swords is here and the Page of Swords. So I think the Page of Swords is the observation part of it. I'm going to observe my life. I'm going to see what I can let go of. Maybe those are thought processes. Maybe you were very stuck, or look, you could be very stubborn. You're a Leo, you're a fixed sign. So maybe you didn't want to let something go. I don't really want to let it go. It feels like this Page of Swords tells me you're willing to look at it logically. We're not looking at it in emotions. We're looking at it logically. What can I do to lighten my load? And I think that you come up to the reasoning of the Page of Cups. If I can, maybe the reason that nothing else is being added to your life at this time is because you won't let anything else go. Because to me, the Four of Pentacles is also you in defiance with the universe. It's like, you're not giving me anything else, so I'm not letting go what I already have. But if you don't let go of holding on to things so tight that you don't need, like things in the closet, like things in your life, like financial things, then nothing else can be added to you. So I really do feel like the Nine of Swords is here with the Ace of Swords as the Ten of Swords. Some of it might be painful to release, but I think you are going to release it. And the good news, Page of Cups, is that then it gives you opportunity to be creative with how you give those things away. So now you're in control of it, right? The healing is yours. You're now in control of it. You're no longer defensive. And you've let go of the fear that nothing else is going to be added to you. So look, we're going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, I usually put down 3 cards. We're going to talk about these 3 cards in the extended, but I do clarify all of this as well. We get more into the meat and potatoes of this. And these 3 cards are usually telling you the outcome or what is coming next or what the next steps would be from here. If you're interested in coming to the extended, please look at the comment section. Above the comment section, the very first comment I pinned up there, please click on read more. And when you do, you will see the link to the membership area. That's where all these extendeds go. And so if you'd like to see this extended, that's where it will be. You will get 4 in a month, by the way. If you're watching for one sign, you'll get 4 for each sign you watch for. So there's a lot there if you're interested in that. I also do readings for just the membership. And if you're interested in a private read, my private reads begin at $25. They go up from there. Please take the link to Hypsee and take a look at all my packaging and my prices. And please do, if you're interested in connecting to me live, you can do that as well. Anywhere between 5 and 75% off of the live calls. If you want to connect to me live, take a look at my schedule and it'll let you know when I'm online. All right, let's find out what the 3 cards are going into the extended. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. We've got the World card. And we've got the Emperor in reverse. You know what you're working on is your stability. It feels like somebody here is coming to the realization that I can't hide from my feelings any longer. Somebody here is going through some sort of a spiritual awakening. That's what this looks like. Aha moments while I'm in the Hermit energy. I feel like you're a person who hides from your feelings, which means that when you feel like you're overly emotional or your emotions are out of control or you feel overwhelmed, that's when you go into Hermit energy. I think in Hermit energy is where you have your clarification or your aha moment that you need to make a decision. 2 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. You need to make a decision to close a door on the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like you're putting in too much work, too much effort, too much time on something. Could be your workplace, could be a relationship, could be staying home, right? Because the Hermit energy was here. Could be that. I really do feel that you're working on yourself, trying to figure out who you are and what you want. And I think that this World card tells me that you are, I feel, going to stop putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into things that are not giving you return. It feels like you're changing your mind or healing something here because you've come to an impasse in your life and you know you have to redirect your energy and stop forcing everything to happen. I feel like what's coming to an end is you feeling out of control. I feel like you're going to feel way more in control than you ever have been of your life. And we're going to talk more about this as we go into the extended. If you want to be there, you know how to get there. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back, Leo. You know that. Love you too much to stay away. I'm going to go for now, and I will see you then. See you in the extended if you're there. Bye-bye.